welcome to another match of the Trash Bowl tournament. In the second European semifinals match, Alex faces Xelo. Alex is bringing his Face Hunter, Soul Demon Hunter, Bomb Warrior, with the Pure Paladin being banned. Xelo is bringing Dragon Priest, Face Hunter, Bomb Warrior as well, and his Soul Demon Hunter is banned. So, no Bomb Warrior bans in this matchup, despite both players bringing it. And I think Alex is going to be very happy that he finally gets to play the Bomb Warrior, and this is definitely going to be an interesting one to watch, if it hopefully loads in now. It's just the game's frozen. What else? So yeah, we're getting into the first match here. Alex queuing up the Demon Hunter, Xelo queuing up the Hunter. So this will be Soul Demon Hunter versus Face Hunter. And whew, we're already seeing on Xelo's hand 2 Falmos and a coin. Very interesting. Alex's hand will hopefully be visible once he draws his first card, and there we go. Always takes a while because Blizzard, as we all know, is a small indie company. And yeah, we can already see Xelo making plays before his turn even starts on the Spectation, finding out the Falmaw. Seems like Alex might already be making plays himself, yeah. The hero power just hits face. There's an argument to be made for playing the Mana Feeder, but I can see why you would want to keep that pro and you can actually draw with it. Especially since he doesn't have a great turn of 3 play anyways. So yeah, hero power Mana Feeder. Both players playing very quickly right now. And yeah. Face Stalker or Turgat hero power lined up for Xelo, and here's the first important hit for the Falmos. Hits the minion. Not what you're looking for, but against another very aggressive deck, not even necessarily the worst possible outcome. Well, I guess there's only really 2 possible outcomes. But not particularly bad either way. Gets the hero power in. Alex picks up the Spirit Jailer and has the Soul Shear for the Face Stalker or the Falmaw. He decides that the damage is more important than the Falmaw value. That's a very interesting take. Did I even look at what the secret was? It is Freezing Trap, so this is not going to get triggered right now. But Voracious Reader on the hand is a bit awkward for Xelo. Polkelt is possible, but Demon Companion's Bow makes a lot of sense as well. Hero power for another secret, also sensible. Otherwise, if the Face Stalker wasn't on board, I would always say just play the Bow. You're getting 1 point of extra damage effectively. But now also the Pressure Plate in play, and Alex plays a Wand Maker. Consume Magic. I mean, it draws you a card and it's a good target there. Now your Wand Maker is gonna die because of the Pressure Plate, but draws some healing there with the Soul Fragment. And Chaos Strike picked up. It's a bit awkward. A lot of minions there having 3 health. Hero power kills the Huffer is a lot simpler and more straightforward. And I don't know, is it going to be Polkelt time? Is it going to be Bow time? We'll see. Now, of course, we know that Alex has the Ooze on hand immediately for the Bow there. Especially with the Eelhorn Bow, of course. It only has 1 durability right now, but you can expect it to get more. But that being said, Alex is pretty far behind as is. Soul Fragment helping him out a little bit, but maybe it's just going to be a Chaos Strike, Hero Power, Blade Dance turn. Clear of the board. That does not leave him with enough mana to play the Ooze. And he draws another Soul Fragment. Normally not what you want to see, but in this particular matchup, and with him being at that low health total, you don't even mind it as much, right? 13 is a lot harder to push through than maybe just the 9 that he was at before. I mean, we already know that there is 5 between Bow and Hero Power. Depending on what he draws, Kill Command would have been lethal. Well, actually no, it wouldn't because there's no Beast, but at 9 it would have almost been lethal, and at 13, even with a Beast, it would still be 3 points off. I think Polkelt Reader makes sense. You could have guaranteed there that you draw the Dragon Bane next turn and either your second bow or your second kill command. Decides not to go that route. Alex has a couple options now. The Ooze is still there as an option, but he might also want to deal with some of the minions on the board. And Lapidary is a bit of a weird one. You probably don't want to play that to deal with a minion. He could definitely use a Slice or a Hero Power or both to get a trigger on the Glaive Bound, but you generally don't want that to go into the minions either. The problem is, if you play the Ooze, what else do you play? I guess Ooze Lapidary Face is possible. He plays the Slice here and uses that to kill both minions. Very conservative play, but he needs to really keep at it so that his opponent can't just kill him immediately. And Double Kill Command will do the job here. Double Kill Command, Tour Guide, Hero Power, Bow. That is lethal for Xelo. 1-0 with the Hunter. Picks up a very important first victory here. Now Xelo still has the Dragon Priest and the Bomb Warrior. It could definitely come down at some point to being a Bomb Warrior versus Bomb Warrior matchup. We're not going to see Face Hunter or Face Hunter. I would say that the Priest is probably has to be favored against, at the very least, Alex's Hunter and Demon Hunter. Maybe not as much against the Warrior, but you've got your own Warrior to deal with that if you're Xelo. And Alex goes to the Face Hunter after just seeing that win against him. Xelo brings out the Warrior. If the Hunter can go fast enough, there is a chance, but generally this does probably favor the Warrior. And both players once again playing very quickly. Alex plays the Initiate Coin Tour Guide so that he can face talk Hero Power next turn. Xelo is just, I guess, Hero Power Pass, yeah, that's also very quickly played. And once again, Alex's turn. And I think we're just going to see exactly what I said, yeah. Face Stalker, Hero Power, hit. Deal 6 to the opponent, bring him down to 26. While also getting himself a secret, which is Pack Tactics, one of the better ones. And it's just going to be Armor Up and Shield Slap to kill at least one thing. Xelo trying to control the early game here. Once it goes to the mid game, he definitely has a lot of a better shot. Falmo is an interesting card, because I know how much Alex likes his Falmo, but he probably also wants that proc off of the Face Stalker, and he's just gonna have to prioritize. Third option would be the Bow, but I don't think that's really particularly appealing to him. So yeah. Picks up another secret, which is Freezing Trap, and keeps going face. You know, what you want to do with that deck. Quartermaster picked up here, well, I mean, he had it for a while. Quartermaster for Xelo in combination with a Shield Slam takes out the Face Stalker and finds out that it isn't quite pressure played yet. I would not be that surprised if we just saw Felmore Hero Power here and just keep pushing for Alex. I think he knows he has to win fast if he wants to. Voracious Reader also possible. Draws him an extra card, does push 2 less damage immediately, but is also another minion that your opponent has to take care of. And over 2 turns that could also deal the damage. And Wrench Caliber picked up for Xelo. One of the very important cards in this deck. It's what it's all about. It's a Bomb Warrior. It likes shuffling bombs. Wrench Caliber is the main card with which you shuffle bombs. Wrench Caliber Whirlwind would actually be possible to kill 2 things if you also trade. Picks up Coerce is interesting. Improve Morale is not actually bad, but I think Coerce might be more straightforward. Brawl doesn't look great right now, but might be really good in the not so distant future, so there is a lot of things going on here. I don't know actually what I would pick here. I personally like Lackeys a lot, but I can definitely see why you wouldn't pick them right there. Picks up the Wrench here, kills off the Tour Guide, and it seemed like the Reader... Oh wait, he's not going to kill them. Yeah, obviously because of the Freezing Trap. And a Quartermaster could come in handy later, but you probably would have still rather taken some damage off the board right now. Alex, of course, has already 5 on board, 2 with the hero power if he wants it, which I'm sure he will. Face Stalker looks pretty good as well. Or you could take the bow and just, yeah, he's just going for it. So 5, 8, 10, goes down to 13 if I'm not mistaken. Wow. That's not, well, okay, he takes the 1 trade there. That's fair enough, it doesn't make a huge difference, you might as well. But still, 14, that's not a lot. And yes, he can get armor, but only so much. Cunning Class, relatively cheap way to draw some cards. Blade Storm is awkward. This is one of the situations where cards like the Follow would be a lot more useful. Blade Storm isn't gonna do much of anything. Sword and Board could kill one thing, but not quite the big tour guide unless you also Whirlwind. Whirlwind, Sword and Board would be able to clear off everything but the Dwarven Sharpshooter, which is not particularly worrying in this matchup. It's basically just a minion with stats. Yes, it can kill some of your stuff, but the primary use for it really is against other aggressive decks, or maybe to push through some taunts here and there, but that's not what Xelo has to be worried about right now. And he's thinking about his options. We saw him hover over the Sword and Board here. Seems like he might be thinking about attacking the Dwarven Sharpshooter. Cunning Class is also an appealing option, and if you do Sword and Board Whirlwind, there is still the mana to Cunning Class as well. It doesn't do that right now. I mean, I don't know if actually what was his hand space. Yeah, that would have been not great. So yeah, just clears of the board. And of course, very important, the armor. 17 goes down to 12 at the start of the turn. Alex can push 5 that we can see, and he draws a Scavenger's Ingenuity. No boars in this deck, but he could face Stalker Hero Power. He could also track for something. Kill Command notably not in reach. I think you take the Dragonbane. He's not going to be able to win this turn either way, but Dragonbane makes a very strong argument for winning next turn, I think. Demon Companion is the more immediate play, but it's not going to give you those remaining, 7 points of damage? Yeah, so, which Dragonbane actually does, by the way. And that's going to be it. So if Xelo can full clear, then Alex will have exact lethal, unless you can also armor up. Galakrond has 5 armor, that's not going to do that much. Brawl is going to leave only 1 minion alive. Bladestorm is 2, with no way of killing the remaining minion. So it might just be Brawl Hero Power. In which case, Alex will be 2 off lethal unless he draws some damage, I was about to say, but there really isn't anything for 1 mana. So just Brawl Hero Power. Actually, yeah, that means Alex wins, of course, because he does have 1 minion left on board. So yeah, that shows us something about hunters. They're very good. And Adorable Infestation doesn't really matter. Dragonsbane Hero Power. And that is 1 a pop. And the Face Hunter archetype is 2-0 in this matchup so far, whereas both the participants are at 1 win each. And we're heading to the next match, and let's see what we get. Oh, the very rare Bomb Warrior Mirror. Now, this mirror match is not even that rare because so few people bring the deck, but just because of the ban mana around the tournament, where it's just one of the most commonly banned decks. And Corsair Casio for Alex drawing his Wrench Caliber, where Xelo of course has both Wrench Calibers on hand already, and a Horde Pillager. We're gonna see both players have some very strong starts here with the Quartermasters as well. Picks up a Cobalt Lackey for the aggressive playstyle, that is very good. And Xelo coins out the Wrench Caliber to take care of Alex's Quartermaster here instead of playing his own Quartermaster. And this match is gonna be something. Alex picks up Wrench Caliber, all very quick plays here. It's gonna hit the face, and both players shuffled 1 bomb each so far. That's gonna be one of the core things in this matchup, of course, the amount of bombs shuffled. And Xelo just hits the Wrench Caliber, plays a Horde Pillager, gets the Wrench Caliber back, and shuffled the second bomb as well. Of course, Alex will presumably hit his Wrench Caliber into the Horde Pillager unless he plays the Cobalt Lackey right now, which he might as well. I think Shield Block we're going to see first here, and then he plays the Lackey. He could have kept it for a later bar-off turn, but we know that most of the boards that are going to be established aren't going to be that insane for either side, so I think given the matchup this makes a lot of sense, and Alex has definitely been more efficient at pushing damage so far. Both players now 2 bombs in their decks. Faceless Lackey could be very good or just very decent, as we see here. And Alex, I think we're just gonna see another shield block probably. He has the ability to trade off some stuff. Big pickup with the Deathwing. Uses the sword on board, and it seems like he went all face otherwise, if I'm not mistaken here. Now he does gain a lot of armor, and he does deal a lot of damage, so he's definitely doing everything slightly better right now in terms of effectiveness, though I'm sure we'll see Xelo catch up once Alex runs out of wrenches for now, and Xelo still 1 charge on his current wrench, 1 more wrench on hand, so this might turn around any second now. Alex does have the Galakrond if he wants it right now. Boom is a lot more appealing though. I think he's gonna summon a full board, yeah. And Krasinov is a big pickup for Xelo, but he might also want to have a way to deal with the current board. Whirlwind not on the hand, neither is Bladestorm. And Barov, well, I guess you could Shield Flame or Barov, but that's also not great. Brawl does the job, presumably leaving 1 Boombot alive. That's at least the statistically likely outcome. And no, it leaves the Boom! That's the worst thing that could have happened, of course, if you're Xelo. Bombs flying at his face all around, and 9 health, now 11. Alex can push 7 with the Boom. He can't quite hero power with the Galakrond, but he now knows that he's transferring over to that aggressive phase, so he plays it anyways. Picks up his own Dr. Krasinov, not as important here because he doesn't have the weapon, of course. Notably, Xelo left his up, did not draw a bomb, that would have been instant death. Shield Slam isn't great without armor. The Corsair caches are a bit awkward with all the weapons already on hand. Lord Barov, Hero Power, Shield Slam? I guess. Not necessarily in that exact order. Corsair Cache, is there an anchor in his deck? No, he just uses it to activate the Coerce. That is another, admittedly, better way to deal with this. Not that experienced in Warrior myself. But Alex now having 3 damage, he can push every single turn with that Hero Power. And Xelo will only get 2 armor to compensate, and any given bomb drawn for Xelo is going to be lethal, and otherwise Alex has that 3-turn clock. Though we assume that Xelo is going to be able to find some damage. Puts down the Dr. K as a bonus thing, and Xelo draws the bomb. And there we go. Warrior Mirrors, traditionally very long matchups. Bomb Warriors not necessarily as much, and in this case that one went by really fast. Both players playing fast, but also just that huge push from Alex. And Alex now down to only the deck that he lost with in the first match, the Demon Hunter, whereas Xelo still has his own Bomb Warrior once again, or the Dragon Priest. I think we might see the Priest here. I wouldn't be that surprised. I would feel like it stacks up better against the Demon Hunter, though Bomb Warrior definitely has its way of dealing with it. Though the huge chunk heals from the Demon Hunter are definitely one thing that allows them to potentially be very good against the Warrior. Demon Hunter, one of the few classes that really just wants to draw a bomb every now and again to be able to then heal it back, rather than just drawing them all at once. Or, I mean, optimally, I guess no class wants to draw them at all. Xelo throws away the entire hand. Alex, I guess he's going to keep the Ooze. He is teched decently well against Warriors here. We might see the Soul Share being kept here. Sociologist seems a bit awkward. Twin Slice, I don't know, honestly, what he's going to do with that. And exactly that. He gets another Twin Slice back, though. Wand Maker picked up. And Sword of More picked up for Xelo. Very important early game control tool. I think it's just hero power right now. You don't need to coin the Wand Maker. That's unnecessarily aggressive. And Corsair Cash for Xelo, very easy play. Alex, I guess, is just going to play the Wand Maker right now, and he's seen the Corsair Cash. He knows that his ooze is going to be big time. Demon Companion is a great pickup. So, did I just see Barov being hovered over? I assume that was just looking at that sorting board there. Yeah. Second Wrench Caliber, hey. If the first one gets oozed, at least you have a second one. Alex could coin the Marrow Slicer right now, and that's what he's gonna do. And he's basically gonna employ the same strategy as in the last matchup, which is just win fast, push a lot of damage to the face. And we're gonna see Xelo respond with a weapon of his own, which is not gonna be very long-lived. I assume Alex is just gonna play the Ooze and Demon Companion hero power, maybe. Mana Feeder not quite lined up if you also want to play the Ooze, and I think you do definitely want to play the Ooze if you're Alex. So, Ooze, Demon Companion, Hero Power, push 5+, well, 5 or 7, depending on which Demon Companion it is. If it's the Misha, it protects you against the upcoming Wrench Caliber. If it's the Huffer, then you can deal some damage immediately. I think you want to Ooze, though. And, I mean, the question for me would just be, do you want a Twin Slice, or do you just Hero Power? I would have personally Hero Powered, but it's 1 point extra damage. And yeah, Ooze it is. Which I assume, Blightstorm isn't the worst thing. So we're gonna see a bit of a slower turn here from Xelo, just Blightstorm it off, Hero Power, saying I can keep that wrench for a bit later. Alex, now, I assume we're gonna see Hero Power Mana Feeder, or just Lapidary, sure. Next turn, Hero Power Glaive Pound, he's just pushing it as much as he can. And it establishes more of a board, I can't really complain about this play at all. Barov Whirlwind, keeping the Barov alive, but dealing some damage right now, and the Barov notably very well lined up against that Glaive Bound. It can hit in there, deal 3 from its attack, and then 1 from the Death Rattle. We might still see... Oh yeah, right, Alex can just hit his face in, though before he plays that Glaive Bound. He plays around that very well. Xelo going down to 16, that is around about half. Has only shuffled 1 bomb, so Blastmaster not as appealing. I'm just going to see the Chorus here. Pushes 3 in the face while also shuffling another bomb, and both players pushing damage somewhat effectively. Alex is slightly ahead in that game, but the bombs can turn that around any second. Spirit Jailer is a good card. He might just play the Spirit Jailer here, Power Glaive Bound again. Say you don't have another Chorus, of course we know Xelo does, but it's possible to play Mana Feeder, but then you can't play a Glaive Bound. So I guess the main question once again is like, do you want to play the Spirit Jailer or do you want to play the second Slice? I personally prefer the Spirit Jailer, but it seems more in line with his core strategy of his deck, but he's just saying, let's just push damage, do what I do best, just deal a lot of damage to the opponent. And Xelo going down to 9, picks up the Iconoclast immediately, and Kronks is a big pickup, especially with the Galakron as well. And once again, coerces, hits. Alex going down to 18, Xelo up to 11 again. And Alex running out of steam just a little bit. Shard Shatter isn't it. A lot of what he has on his hand is very anti-aggro, and that is not what he's facing exactly, at least not the more traditional type of aggro. Interesting point to be made here, he draws first, which traditionally makes sense because you might want to use your mana. He might want to also draw some soul fragments, but he also does not want to draw bombs, so there's a multiple was looking at it, well, the bomb chance would have been the same either way, I suppose. Quartermaster's interesting. Galakron is some armor immediately for losing your armor-based hero power, but giving you that Kronks, which could just win you the game as well. So you could go either hero power Galakron or Galakron hero power, depending on whether you prefer the armor or the damage. If you push the damage, you could then just play Kronks next turn for an 8/8 and say, you know, what are you going to do about this? While also being able to play the Horde Pillager for another 3 damage from the weapon. Would bring Alex down next turn to 9 with an 8/8 and a 6/6 and a 4/2 on the board for Xelo. That being said, he's shuffled a lot of bombs. Blast Blaster is also very possible. Blastmaster it will be. Xelo at 10 health. We know Alex's deck can do that. And ooh, at a very important juncture, the bomb picked up, and Alex has only 5 points of damage, 6 with the Spirit Jailer, and that Shard Shatter is gonna more likely than not actually kill him if he plays it. And so it seems like we might just see the Bomb Warrior win here. For Xelo, Alex plays Soul Shear, Slice, second Slice, Blade Dance it seems. He's only gonna damage 3 things. And then another Blade Dance. But that is more likely not actually gonna kill him if he plays it. But if he doesn't play it, so as well. And the Boom lives of all things, and yes, Alex is dead. Another win for a Bomb Warrior. And now we're just gonna see whether the Dragon Priest can take on the Soul Demon Hunter. I say it can, but we'll just have to find out and see. Final match, no matter which way this goes. And it's gonna be Xelo's Dragon Priest, which we haven't seen today, versus Alex's Soul Demon Hunter, which you already lost 1 game with. Alex's starting hand looking not too bad. Soul Shield probably not great in this matchup. Xelo's Double Studies is definitely very good. The Spellkin might be a bit early. The Wild Pyro could presumably come in very helpful at a lot of junctions in this game. Coin is probably something that Xelo prefers to have here as well. Overall, I would say decent start for both players. We're gonna see what they actually decide to keep here. And Xelo throws away most things, but that raise that we've seen that do some fun things. And Alex keeps fully. I don't know how much I like the Soul Share in this matchup, but the One Makers are definitely one argument for that. Probably not gonna see anything. Or maybe we are going to see something coined from Xelo. I was going to say, control deck, you played a bit slow, you don't necessarily need to coin out something on turn 1, but Xelo says, no, I want to be proactive here. Give me that One Maker, give me that 1-mana spell. And I guess that's going to mean that Alex is going to Soul Shear right now. Maybe Chaos Strike. But yeah, Soul Shear, cleaner way to deal with it. Shuffle some fragments, you already Lapidary there on the hands, so you want some fragments in your deck. And we just probably going to see another One Maker, yeah, why not? And Inner Fire picked up here. Probably not the biggest thing in this matchup, but Marrow Slicer, however, could be a big thing in this matchup. And Alex seems to push the 3 to the face if I saw that correctly. Yes, he does. Marrow Slicer followed by Lapidary is a great succession. Mind Vision gives him Blade Dance. That's not inherently going to come in handy. Might be able to copy some other damage additions. But otherwise, Blade Dance, relatively useless card for Xelo. It was, well, I mean, I guess some of the Lapidary is also not great, so the Soul Demon Hunter is a bit of an awkward matchup because it's so synergistic. Any deck that is very synergistic, it's hard to copy cards from and still get a good effect out of it. And Alex has the Lapidary lined up for 9 points of damage to the face if he wants it. Does not want it right now. Picks up the Chaos Strike and picks up the Shard Shatter, which would clear the board. Now, those minions aren't inherently that threatening, but hey, it's a 3-2 body and clears the board, meaning it's uncontested, so why not? Cool Spellkin now possible, not the most proactive play. Apotheosis will be a big pickup, as is Draconic Studies to a slightly lesser degree. Apotheosis picked up. Now, Cleric of Scale is not exactly the optimal minion to put it on, but we do also see the Wild Pyromancer on the hand for Xelo, so there is an idea there, maybe as well. Though that would not be right now, heals the face and probably passes the turn. Let's see, hand size. Yeah, that's fine. Alex picks up one maker of his own, but he's saying now it's Lapidary time. Hero power as well, pushing 9 to the face, bringing Xelo down to 13, which is very low, especially for being a class that heals very well. Now, that being said, Apotheosis there, allowing him to potentially heal well. And... Apotheosis Inner Fire to heal 1 extra, now probably not worth it. Pyro Apo, you would want another spell for sure. I don't know. There's some options here, especially if you pyro, you can also raise dead, which is not exactly great, but it does give you some extra healing on top of the damage. So it's basically 1 proc for 1 damage to your face. And it's gonna be the pyro with Apo and raise dead, yes. Oh right, it also then damages the wild pyro, so it's not even a negative. And inner fires the opposing minion to get it down to a 2-1. Jeez. Consume Magic is a way to deal with the pyro a little bit, but I think you might just want to kill it. Slice Blade Dance is possible. Though it has lifesteal, so you might actually want to silence it. Instead of healing your opponent 5. Well, I guess Blade Dance wouldn't heal it, so yeah. It's basically either Blade Dance or Consume Magic, and you might as well use the Consume Magic whenever it's even better and also actually draws you a card from the Outcast. Alex pushing another 7, so that Arrow Fire definitely coming in handy there, where it would have otherwise been 3 extra points of damage. Cleric of Scales picked up immediately by Xelo, and another Apotheosis. I think I like Wave of Apathy here because of the Cabal Acolyte. But, I'm not sure. Chrono Breaker isn't that great right now. I guess you don't even need the wave though to get the Cabal Acolyte off, because they already both natively just have 2 or less attacks. So Wave of Apathy is not going to do a huge deal, and Alex does have the Marrow Slicer. Xelo naturally doesn't know that, but so there is some damage coming. But Apotheosis is not going to be the best way to deal with it either. And he's definitely taking some time with this one. Cleric is not awake yet, so he's gonna have to make a choice sooner rather than later. Picks up the wave and uses that with... Maybe not. Maybe just gonna use the Blade Dance actually. That's a... yeah. Doesn't deal anything, but it does still give him the minion. I like that use. It's probably one of the better use you're gonna get. Now, Alex has the Consume Magic to potentially deal with the Cabal Acolyte, and the Skull could just find him a lethal. Philosophy to copy the Spirit Jailer. I don't hate it. You could still play Consume Magic, Marrow Slicer this turn. Yeah, I was about to say you probably play the Philosophy anyways though, huh? Instead of the Hero Power then. Consume Magic, Marrow Slicer, Hero Power, hit everything in the face. And that is gonna be 7 points of damage. 6 because it didn't hero power. Apotheosis drawn for Xelo, that's a big one, because otherwise he is losing, but between Kane and the weapon, there's still a lot of stuff there on Alex's side as well. Radiance is a big heal, and Apotheosis on the biggest minion. Taking some trades here. Radiance, hero power, going up to 14. Alex does have a guaranteed 8. Sorry, going up to 16 even. So that's only half. Now Skull is possible if he just plays the big Spirit Jailer. The only thing you don't want to draw is Fragments. Skull is a good pickup. Second Jailer isn't horrible. Fragment is pretty bad. Now picks him up a Blade Dance. Doesn't have the setup for a big Blade Dance turn right now though. Actually, hero power, Blade Dance is it's one too many mana. So he can't actually kill the Cabal Acolyte right now without actually giving Xelo the healing. Which throws Alex quite a bit back in this matchup, of course, because he had him down to the ropes and Xelo found a way to heal back a lot. Yeah, and Alex just thinking through his options, and there really isn't that much. Plays on the free Spirit Jailer, might as well. And the not so free Spirit Jailer, hero power, and just kills the 4/5 the only way he can. Bringing Xelo back to 20. And we know this Demon Hunter can push huge amount of damage in one turn, but at some point you're gonna run out of stuff that you can push. Galakrond is possible, but does deny him the healing from the hero power, so just picks up the one of spells. Draconic Studies is big. Gets him. Oh, Evasive Worm and Morzan are both good. Most normal just straight up is not. I might like Morzan here, yeah, because the Demon Hunter can also heal some and establish boards, which are all things that you don't necessarily mind taking off the Morzan. Maybe like, you know, Rocky Warblades. You don't have the attack buffs, but hey, you still have some extra healing out of it. Using the Wave of Apathy for some slightly better trades. And of course taking 2 less damage next turn. I don't see this as particularly necessary, but I might be able to see why he wants to do that. And Alex now, the skull is weirdly placed in his hand. It is cheap, but it's weirdly placed. Even plays the Lazul scheme, taking every single point of the face damage he could be taking that he can, despite being at 22 health. Lapidary is a big pickup. You can just Lapidary, Kane, hero power, but yeah, Lapidary, Blade Dance makes a lot of sense. Skull. And basically, if you can't find a way to swing the game around soon, there's not going to be much of anything. Those Eldrazi Warblades, not as necessarily helpful for healing, but they're going to be something, and I would not be that surprised if we just saw the Morzan. With some very good ordering, you could clear the entire board, but even with poor ordering, at least you get a lifesteal weapon. Now, of course, Alex does have the Ooze, which he might be tempted to play right now. Yeah. So that's not an option anymore. And the Battle Cry notably, of course, doesn't trigger, so I think Morzan is a great play this turn. You get a lot of minions out of it. Decides to renew first. That doesn't prevent the Morzan play. Soul Mirror and Shadow Ruin are interesting, as is Penance. Plays the Soul Mirror he already has. Takes care of the 5/5 that way. A more reliable play for sure, especially with Penancing off the 2/2. And again, at some point, Alex is just gonna run out of stuff that he can push. Draws a lot of soul fragments, not what you want, especially at full health. And right now he's fighting for his outs, and he's played both. I think he played both Lapidaries already, so a lot of his big chunk damage has already happened, and he just keeps drawing fragments. And there is his big board swing, which, since he's drawn 4 fragments this turn, isn't nearly as big as it could be. Now, of course, this is more susceptible to the Soul Mirror than the Morzan, so not as big for Xelo if he does it. But if Xelo can clear this, it's pretty much over. Now, I don't currently see a great way of dealing with it though, so Spellkin picked up here, and Wave Apathy is definitely going to delay some damage, but it's not going to clear the board. Chrono Breaker is possible to kill off the... Oh, right, I was thinking of a different card there briefly. Chrono Breaker is very good to potentially clear off the majority of the board. Alex draws another fragment. And yeah, slices. Hero power, Kane is 5/8. Board is 13. So, Shardshare does not go face. Five health. Didn't play the Kane. Would have brought him down to 2. And once again, some healing ripped off the top of the deck. Now, it's not a lot of healing, but it could give you more healing. Or a way to deal with the board, which would be even better. Grave Rune isn't it. I don't think Alex played anything that's particularly great to do with the board, so Morazan isn't exactly helpful either. He might just take it. Embalming Ritual, Grave Rune, similar ideas. I guess you almost have to go Whispers for hoping to get an Ethereal Lackey to get you a spell that clears. It's a Witchy Lackey. That could help. Right, he had the Chrono Breaker to clear, my bad. We looked at it last time already. Cole Spellkin is a good evolve target though. So that Witchy Lackey might have actually been really good. I think hit Witchy Lackey and then maybe Embalm it depending on what it is. He's definitely thinking about it. Inner Fire is possible, but I don't think you are taking the aggressive role here. Plays the Galaprond, 15 health. And once again, right, how is Alex supposed to push through this? Picks up a Horde Pillager. It's definitely one of the better ways he has of dealing with this. But that is still, Horde Pillager hero power is what, 3 to 5? And then the Kane is 3, hero power is 1. Just it. 3 to 5 rolls are with hero power, yeah, right. So yeah, pushes 5, and if he can do that every turn, he still has a chance. Second Morazan picked up. Soul Shear, not guaranteed to hit enemy minions, I believe. And so Morazan not as obviously great as a play. Oh, hey, that's actually a surprisingly good random priest minion. It has lifesteal. I don't see that a lot, but I think we might see a Morazan here. Raise Dead, lowering his HP further, and picks up a Wand Maker. Draconic Studies. Twin Tyrant is too expensive. Crimson Hothead works, yeah, as a taunt. And I guess, yeah, it could be Inner Fired. Now, Alex has Kane, so that means he wins. But let me really quickly see. He would have been one off without Kane, well, with the Glaive Bound either way, but that means Alex is going to the European Championship, believe it or not. Big time. Alex seems to have a bit of a history here with Romania, losing to Razwan last time around. Now he's beating Xelo, and he's gonna have to face Houston in the European Championship. So lots of Romania going on here, and we're gonna see where this goes. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel for more of this, join the Discord server to join the community, and until next time, that's it.